Jeffrey Gurian, the legend, my good buddy. I love this guy. Jeff.
Hello,
Hi.
Jeff. Nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you, man. I'm home again.
Nice,
you
good
are.
answer.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
Looking good, my friend. I know you had a tough run with the early on with this whole thing.
Yeah, you doing all
I
right?
got it right
Pull that
away.
down. There's a microphone. Pull that. See the microphone?
Oh, sorry.
Show me.
The-
All
the
you gotta
mic,
do, put it
the-
on.
You can just hold it.
See, this is what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, there you go.
She's going, give me your phone. Give me your phone.
Yeah, yeah.
Why?
Good. You got-
Give me the
you got
phone.
Jeff-
I got the virus right away in March. Well, you know me. I like to be the first at everything. I don't want to wait. I went in with both lungs, you know. COVID double pneumonia. Single wasn't good enough for me. No, but I wound up in the hospital, man. I was sick for 2 months.
Dude, I was
Yeah.
worried about you.
So was
really
a lot of
worried
us
about
were,
you.
yeah.
And
Thank you,
I'm
thank
very
you.
happy that you pulled through and you got out. I watched your documentary like 2 times.
Oh, that's so
The
nice.
second
of you.
time I was crying.
Yeah, I was crying. It's a weird thing to see a film about your life, and it's such a great honor. You know, I joke about it, and telling people to watch a documentary about you is the exact opposite of humility.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, hey, have you seen this film
Right.
about me? It's like, you know, it's so weird. But to think that people took the time to make a film about you is like, it's a crazy thing. And so many nice people were in it, and it really helped me get through. I have to say, the kindness of the comedy community really helped so much. I was too sick to answer anybody, but Ron Bennington announced it on Sirius XM that I was in the hospital.
Right.
And I started getting like hundreds of messages from people, and Bill Burr and Jim Norton and Kroll and Mulaney. Everybody posted like really supportive things.
That's right.
And I can't tell you how much that means when you're that sick. They gave me hydroxychloroquine, which turned the tide for me, and now it's coming out that of course it's good.
Right, exactly.
And I had put myself on Z-Pak, not realizing that that's what they were using in the hospital. You know, on the 3rd day that I was sick, it went to my throat. And whenever I get a cold, I get a sore throat. I was hoping I just had a cold. I didn't think it was COVID yet.
Right.
But after 2 weeks, man, I was so sick. I had to call an ambulance, and it was scary because it was March. It was new. Nobody knew about it, and they were saying and they were warning you, try to keep away from emergency rooms, because I was in a high-risk category because of my heart. I had a heart attack a few years before. So I've been through a lot of shit.
Damn, man.
It's been crazy. But you know what got me through too? Positive thinking.
Absolutely
That's
right.
right.
Yep.
And I write books about, as I was recovering, I wrote a book called Fight the Fear, Overcoming Obstacles That Stand in Your Way. And it became a #1 release on Amazon in 4 different categories, like cognitive behavioral therapy and group therapy and adult children of alcoholics.
Wow.
And it was because we've all been surrounded by fear this past year. It's been a ridiculous year, and people are engulfed with fear. And I needed to write about all the things that I had to confront.
Right.
You know, just call an ambulance was so scary at that time. I didn't know what was going to happen to me. But the Z-Pak worked. It protected my lungs. I stayed on it for 10 days. And on my 2nd day in the hospital, they started me on hydroxychloroquine, a double dose.
Wow.
And by the next day, I was breathing okay. My oxygen stayed at 96%.
Oh, that's
And
great.
they
Excellent.
said that was a miracle.
Wow.
Excellent. Well, thank God you're okay, and you're
Thank
here.
you.
You came out. You
Thank you.
you're not afraid. You came out in the real world. You're not even wearing a mask. I'm so happy.
I'm conquering fear. I have my mask in my pocket. In my building, they still require masks, so I carry it with me. In New York City, it's very confusing. People are pulling them up and down.
Right,
Nobody
yeah.
knows what to do. You know, I'm walking in the street. I'm like, why am I wearing it in the street? There's probably no danger. And it takes time to start socializing again. You know, I've been doing some shows in the city. I don't really mingle with the audience. There's still fear inside. Once you've been that sick, it's like weird.
It's scary.
And I met a guy today who told me that he got it twice, and he got it after he got the shot.
Wow.
A month after he got the shot, he came down with COVID again. And he said, but it wasn't as bad, but he was sick for a few days.
Well, Don and I are over 6 feet away from you, so if you get sick again, it's Aaron's fault.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Or Denise's
Thanks a
fault.
lot, Aaron.
You know,
Less than 2 feet.
at the time I got sick, people were starting to get worried, but nobody knew. I went to see Seinfeld at the 92nd Street Y about 2 nights before. There was like 600-700 people there, everybody all together,
Yeah.
Right.
nobody
yeah.
social distancing. Yet people were starting to get nervous because I got sick like March 11th, so March 9th, 10th, I think that's when I went to see Seinfeld. I was at Gotham about 2 nights before with the owner, with Chris Mazzilli.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get sick, but Michael Yo came over to say hello. He got sick, and the head of security got sick.
Wow.
Jimmy Cannizzaro got really sick.
Really
I think
sick.
he was on a ventilator.
Yeah, we was real touch and go with him.
And when he came out of it, we were in touch with each other, like giving each other support and comparing our stories. It was crazy, man. And it took a
How
good
long were
2
you in the
months.
hospital? 2 months?
No. I was only in the hospital 4 days. They needed the bed. They literally ran out of rooms. They put me. The first 2 days I was in isolation alone, but on the 3rd day they put me in a room with 3 other very sick men. And this can't even happen, but it happened to me. They told me the guy in the bed next to me was from Wuhan, China.
You must have been like,
And I'm
are you
like-
fucking kidding me?
I'm like, my life is a Woody Allen movie. I'm laying there next to patient 0. It's like fucking,
You must have thought, well, they must have stuck him with me because I'm dead. You probably thought, like,
it was
And here's his
ridiculous.
pet monkey.
It was, and the guy's coughing and choking in the air with no mask, and I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
and I express my concern to the nurse, and she tells me not to wear. She points to a thin curtain. Meanwhile, she's wearing a fucking hazmat suit with swim fins and scuba gear, and I have a thin curtain to protect me. So I believe I didn't argue when they told me they were sending me home. You know? I was so
You're like,
glad to
please
get out of
send me
there.
home. Please send me home.
It was crazy, and I was laughing. I was laughing to my, as sick as I was. I'm like, this can't even
This
happen.
is ridiculous.
Can't
yeah.
even
wow.
happen. But it happened to me. So
I hope I know you love to write these books. I hope you write
Yeah.
the memoir about this.
I
these
wrote
times.
that story. Well, I'm doing it in my act. I shouldn't have said it here because I'm going to be doing it on
That's
stage.
what, no, our
A little
audience at
while.
home is
That's
going to
right.
be loving
This is
this.
great.
Yeah,
Everyone
Now
heard it
that I know it,
already.
I'm going to steal all the material.
No one could do it but me because it's too sick a story.
Yeah.
No,
But it's true. It's funny how comedy comes from truth.
yeah.
Right, yeah.
Sure.
I think God had a plan for me. He knew I needed a new bit for my act.
Yeah, he's like, let me help
So
him out.
he gave me COVID double pneumonia. I could have just written it, but
Do you have any lasting effects or anything going on? Or?
I cough, but I'm not sure it's
Yeah,
from
'cause
that.
You look You look great. I
Thank
mean,
you.
and
Thank
don't
you.
get me wrong. I don't mean great. I mean, I'm joking. I'm
I-
joking.
no, I appreciate
but,
it.
No, you look like because it's been what, maybe 2 years since we've seen him. A year, 2 years.
It's gotta, everything has to be
about a
2
year
years
and a
because
half,
last
yeah.
year
Right.
was a
Yeah.
wash.
Yeah.
So you don't look any different. You don't look.
Thank you.
You look healthy. That's I guess
Except
that's
for
what
the
I'm trying to say.
headphones.
I'm
I
gonna
hate
shut
wearing
up.
that. It flattens my hair.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I went to my cardiologist and he examined me because I only go places I can walk because crime in New York is insane. I won't go on the subway.
Yeah.
So I have a cardiologist that I can actually walk to. And he checked my heart and he said, knock wood, there was no damage to the heart muscle because a lot
Great.
of times that happens with COVID.
Okay.
And he checked my lungs and he said my lungs look great. So I was very
Excellent.
Good
lucky.
for you.
But I
Fantastic.
do cough. It could be allergies
Right.
because I don't remember coughing that much before. But look, if that's all I have, I can deal with it. A lot
Sure.
of people, and interestingly enough, I say it was lucky that I had a heart attack 5 years before because I've been on blood thinners ever since.
Oh, there you go.
And
So
when
the
I got
clotting.
sick, they didn't know it caused blood clotting. That's how
Right.
that Broadway star Nick Cordero died.
Mm-hmm.
Because
right.
first they had to amputate his leg because of blood clots.
Yes.
And then they started finding out that blood clotting is a big thing with COVID.
Yeah.
So-
And with
Yes.
the vaccine too.
It just shows you that you never know when something happens in your life that seems like it's horrible. Like how could a heart attack be a good thing, right? But it may have saved me.
Right. Exactly.
Because I'm
Weird
on
how
blood thinners and I never stopped taking them. They told me I could stop and I'm like, I'm sticking with them. So,
Can I borrow some?
crazy. Yeah, right.
I'll just take any
Now-
drug that y'all have here.
Both of you live in New York. You're both in Manhattan and City.
Yeah.
I'm
In
in
the boroughs.
Jersey.
You're in Jersey.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm hearing all these nightmare stories.
not from
but,
Jersey.
but you're in New York a
Yeah.
lot, right? In
Oh,
Manhattan.
yeah. We're,
'Cause I heard it really digressed a little bit through the last year. What's it like? You said it was dangerous now. Walking the
Horrible.
streets, go subways.
I
Is
live
it
in
like,
one of the nicest areas. You can't leave the house. My Citizen app goes off all the time. I never had a Citizen app before. Somebody told me. I'm almost sorry I downloaded it. It tells you when there's a crime in your neighborhood.
Oh my God.
Every few
Really?
minutes, there's a man with a knife. I'm like, who is this man with a knife?
Why?
Damn,
What if they
I
had
hope
caught him
they-
the
yet?
same man. I don't know.
yeah, I
It's like-
downloaded it for Jersey, but it's the best because it's like raccoon attacks woman.
Oh, here it's like,
It's so much better in
Really?
Jersey.
Where in
I
Jersey
get
are
like
you?
a man's-
Far out there?
West Orange.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, that's nice over there.
Yeah,
right?
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, I live down the street from a Chili's, so I don't know. Are things going real well? We don't know.
Baby back rib.
Yeah. But then I just, we're homeowners, but then we found out someone died in the house. So
Oh, that's fun.
Now I'm ready to sell the house.
And how did you find out? You found a body?
A neighbor died. I'm not surprised. I know. I was like, well, I got a ghost took over my body one night, but aside from that. That was the only tell. The neighbor told us, and she came over. She was like, "This place is lovely. Oh, this is much different. The other owner died right there," and pointed where I was standing. I was like,
wow.
"Get the realtor on the phone."
And how did that person die? Is it something juicy like a murder
She never
or?
went into details. You can't
Oh,
drop
you didn't
that
ask?
bomb and what?
She was
because I
violently
too busy-
murdered right in that spot. You're
I was too
saying.
busy changing my pants at that point. I was like, I need a change of undies after you telling me that. But no, I never actually followed up on it. But I think it was natural causes. I think.
So now every time you hear a creak in the house or anything weird, you
Yeah,
ever
every
think
time I'm like, Oscar, you better not jump in my body.
his
Again.
name is Oscar. I love it.
His name was Oscar.
Is that name
Yeah.
really? I just thought you just named him that.
No, his name is. He gets more mail than me. I was like, at what point does the post office stop forwarding? Like, is there anywhere for it to go? I don't know if he's in heaven or hell, but I've got his life insurance checks.
Wow,
I'm like,
this is.
I think I'm going to be dead like 3 years before Scientology stops mailing me. Their
then that's
They really
how
want
you
you,
keep
yeah.
going
Yeah.
for whoever lives in your place afterwards.
In Manhattan, nobody dies of natural causes. It's all crime these days. It's 100. It's unbelievable. Man swinging a wrench. I can't believe how many women are getting punched. It's
Wow.
horrible.
What?
Everything, woman assaulted. And I live in like the East 50s in Manhattan.
Wow.
And it's a nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
There are men sprawled on the concrete.
Christy
Like,
Miller
I
was
came up-
saying the same exact thing last night. She was in here and she was saying
It's
exactly
horrible.
that.
It's
She
horrible.
said people are just lined up. That she has to walk. Actually said she walks down the street with brass
Mace,
knuckles.
Probably. Yeah,
Oh,
she's
yeah,
a
she has
tough
a-
Yeah, but I'd
girl.
be scared to attack. You guys know Christy Miller?
Yeah, yeah,
I'd
sure,
be
she's a
scared
tough
to
girl.
attack.
Please,
Yeah.
you don't want to trifle with her.
No,
No,
she'll
well,
mess
I
you
kind
up.
of do, but not in that
in a
sense.
very
no.
different way. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Jeff, is it something? I see you looking at your phone. Is you getting an alert right now? Is there a crime happening right now?
No, I just got
That
a
would be
text.
so
I was
awesome.
curious to see who it was.
I'm hoping you get an alert while we're talking. You'd be like, oh,
There was-
another guy just got.
There was a
chicken
crime in
Meth in the
on,
park,
50
yeah.
on 47th Street.
It was
I
me.
did.
I was the victim. They just alerted me that I got robbed here.
You're about to get
Emotional
robbed
assault.
in 15
Yeah.
minutes.
Or it has to do with coming in here.
Yeah.
He walks into a radio show you wish he never walked in.
Yeah, he walked in and he starts hearing.
It's just crazy. I hardly leave the house. Really, it's scary, man. There's like
Well,
crazy
this time
shit.
last year, remember, everything was boarded up.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah,
was
man.
wild to see. All
Living
of
through-
Fifth Ave. Ever just boards as far as the eye can see.
And
of
they
course,
let them
I'm
go
doing
as soon
comedy
as
in the
they
park.
arrest them. They're out the next day. Some guy just got busted 4 times with guns. 4 times, and they let him out on the street. And then he killed
Jeez.
somebody the next day. He shot into a crowd and killed a young father. And that's the no bail thing in New York.
Right, they gave him med tickets.
ridiculous.
They gave him med
They
tickets.
get tickets. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
ridiculous right now.
No matter what they do, it's a horrible state of
Well,
affairs.
It is
All right, so-
scary times.
But what do you think? Because you've lived in New York for a long time,
My
right?
whole life, yeah.
Do you see it rebounding? I mean, I hope your answer is yes.
I would hope that it would, but
Yeah.
it's going to be very difficult. When I walk along 2nd and 3rd and Lexington Avenues, the amount of stores that are boarded up that say for rent is beyond belief.
That breaks
One
my
empty
heart, man.
store after the next. Restaurants that have closed that will not reopen.
No.
Dangerfields went out of business
Yeah,
after 50
Yeah.
years.
Yeah,
There's
right.
a for rent sign there.
Yeah, it's
You
That
know?
creek
sad.
in the cave.
That's
So
sad.
we lost
Yeah,
a
the
few
creek in the
clubs.
cave is gone,
Yeah.
and you know.
But Panda Express is still there, guys. So
And
come to New
Sbarro.
York for the Panda Express.
It's a
Yeah.
very weird feeling walking through Manhattan now. You know,
But yeah,
I
the
live near.
I haven't been
Bloomingdale's.
back in since that happened.
Yeah,
I was
me
working
neither.
in MSG for a while, so I was in there every day. But then when the pandemic hit, we started working from home. I've never been back.
You're not missing anything. It's
Yeah.
really strange. I've seen such a change, and it's very depressing, to be honest with you. It's really shots fired 1 block from my house,
Jeez.
right? East 50s in Manhattan, 10022 area code, one of the best, and it's shots fired, you know. And there's a police station on 51st Street. They're probably afraid to come out.
They
'cause
can't do
nobody-
anything. If they
I-
do anything, they're gonna get in trouble.
I thank every cop I see, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Do you think a new mayor our new governor is needed.
Well, I hope Curtis Lewa wins. He's a good friend of mine, man.
Oh,
I love
nice.
Curtis Lee. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
No, he's
they're having a
running
big
for me.
comedy
He's a
show
friend of
for
mine
him.
for like 30 years. I produced his roast when WABC roasted him and Kubi.
Oh,
Who
Yeah, I
was his
remember that.
co-host.
Yeah.
They came to me and I produced that roast at Gotham Comedy Club. We had
Yeah.
a huge
Nice.
turnout. And I've been friends with him for a long time. And he would be a great mayor. He's a real law and order guy.
yeah.
And, you know, it's going to be a tough fight, though. Look who they're putting up against him, you know. And I don't often talk about politics, but I'm living it. I see the city is in such bad shape, and they need to make a change. They really need to make a
It's,
change. And the people that are running, there's only one guy who's like pro-police because he was an ex-cop. But Curtis will be like, you know, like Giuliani did. He got things under
He's
control.
kind of Giuliani-esque, Curtis, in a way, because he's hands-on type of guy.
Yeah, Rudy just endorsed him yesterday.
Oh, okay,
It came
cool.
out. And I've been
Yeah.
telling Curtis for years that he should run for mayor, and I'm glad he finally did it. And hopefully people will come out and vote for him, because that should be a priority for people, safety. If people don't feel safe, tourists are not going to come.
That's right.
There's
Yeah.
been so many stories about tourists getting shot recently, getting mugged.
They're scared to come.
Uh,
Even if they
who
open
wouldn't
Broadway,
be?
they're still going to be scared.
Who wouldn't be? Around Times Square, people are insane around there. you
Yeah,
know?
man.
At this
So-
point, I'd vote for Mayor McCheese.
I
Give me
know.
anybody but.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Yep.
McCheese would be better than De
Frankly,
Blasio.
like he can't campaign that much because he'll melt in the sun. But I like,
tastes
I like
delicious.
his platform. The platform, it's a plate, but he's
It's a
stands
Happy
with
Meal.
platform. Yeah,
That's great.
yeah.
Mayor McCheese, yeah, he would be
Yeah.
a way better mayor. He would have my vote.
Anybody would be. But what's crazy is that there's a lot of people who would still vote for him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is there?
Our
Really?
current
Yeah.
mayor.
I thought that was the one thing
Because-
everybody agreed on. Though.
I
Both
thought it was the
sides.
one
Yeah, so
thing
did I.
everyone
hated it.
said.
Out here, that's nobody likes him.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect us.
Well,
as,
Get them all out.
A lot
But-
of the
yeah.
people that are running on from his party support what he's doing.
really?
Yeah, you would think that anybody would think not, but
Do they
it's
just
not. It's
have
not that
to?
way.
Yeah, right.
I don't
like they
know.
just
I don't know.
have
I
to
don't
do
get
that?
it. I don't get it. It's just common sense.
I never thought the movie Escape from New York was like a prophecy.
Yeah,
right.
it's
Yeah.
really. It's just crazy.
It was
it's
a
not
how-to
particularly
guide.
funny.
We didn't know.
yeah, exactly.
But how,
It's like when COVID first hit, and like you ever see the movie Outbreak? I'm like, I've seen this before.
Yeah.
Like everything that happened in that movie happened
Okay,
last
true.
year.
After
Okay,
9/11,
true.
I was like, Michael Bay was right. Like everything that
Everything is
any
blowing
James
up.
Cameron movie you've seen is just a prophecy.
Right, right.
but how is it at the clubs in the city? The people are coming?
Yeah, they're crowded. I was at the
Oh, good.
Strip last night. I went
Uh-huh.
to the Stand first and hung out with those people. Place was packed. That downstairs show, the upstairs, even the outdoor show, crowded.
Nice.
Comic Strip was packed.
Nice.
Really good crowd.
Oh, good.
All
There's
the
Well,
no
comics
fear.
were hanging
I feel
out.
like everybody wants to be there. They're excited.
People need to laugh, man. It's been a rough
Absolutely.
year, so
Right.
everybody's been very anxious to come out and, you know, slowly taking off their masks. You know, in the club, people are not wearing their masks.
Yeah, we
they're
noticed it
eating
here,
and
too.
drinking,
Yeah.
and, you know.
Mhm.
And it's wonderful to see that. I was down on opening night. I hit 9 clubs. I wrote about it. I didn't stay for shows, but I went to speak to the owners of each club. I went to the cellar and sat with Noam Dwarman, and I wanted to get their take on what was happening. You know,
Right.
And everybody was very optimistic. And I
Did
went
they
to
Good,
all
good.
handle it the same way, or is there any that's more, sheltered than others? Or
Well, like for instance, Chris Mazzilli, you know, owns Gotham, so they're doing instead of doing their usual headliner shows, they're doing a whole lineup of comics,
like the seller
like
does.
a showcase show
Right.
instead of a headline show, because I guess of financial things too. You know, they have to build back up again, and when you're closed for a year, you can't do exactly
Right.
what you used to do.
Right, right.
So they're having great shows, and their rooms are full. You know, people are coming out. People want to come to shows, and that's a great
That's
thing.
what I keep telling people is that not only are the comedians anxious to get back on stage and perform again, but the audiences are anxious for comedy. They need comedy. We need to laugh. We need to be happy again.
I'm doing a big show on June 23rd in 12 days at the Cutting Room. The Cutting Room asked me to come in and bring comedy.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
And it's a
man.
beautiful room.
It's
And
Love
a
that
great
place.
venue.
Yeah.
I
Love
love that
that
place.
I like
yeah.
doing upscale venues. So I have a great show. Vlad Camano and Derek Gaines from The Last OG. You know, Vlad is from the CBS show Tommy.
Nice,
And,
yeah.
and Aaron Berg and Olga Namer is going to be
Oh,
on
yeah,
there.
Nice.
Olga
And,
Aaron Berg, yeah, yeah.
Maceo from Uptown Comedy, and it's going to be a really good show. So if any
Nice
of your
mix.
listeners want to come into the city one night, it's Wednesday, June 23rd at 8 p.m. at the Cutting Room.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
The
Beautiful.
cutting room's great.
The
Have a great
tickets
time
are
there.
available on the Cutting Room website.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Are you
I'm hosting and performing on the show.
are you by any chance next month in July? Are you part of the Bob Nelson thing by any chance that
No.
they're doing here?
No,
Oh.
I didn't know about it.
Oh yeah, they're doing a benefit for Bob Nelson. I think it's July 22nd, I believe it is.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
because he's unfortunately, not in good shape right now.
I know, I heard,
Yeah.
but I didn't realize that they were doing that. Well, I'll come out for that.
Yeah,
I'll
Peter
get the
Bales is
details.
hosting. Joey Cole is going to be here. Jackie Martling will be here.
Martling, sure.
Legendary lineup
Yeah.
for Bob. Bob Nelson's a Long Island legend here. We love him. And
Yeah, well, wasn't he one of the original three with Dice?
yeah,
I
yeah,
believe
yeah.
so.
Dice. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not
No,
Dice.
with
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy, right.
Murphy, Bob Bartlett, and him were the triplets.
The identical
Right.
triplets.
Yeah,
I know,
yes.
because I wrote the book on the comic strip with Chris Rock.
Oh yeah, I read
And-
that book.
And there was the story, that Eddie was originally in the identical triplets.
Yep.
Yeah. And,
Oh,
I would
Bartlett's
love to
coming in
see
for
that.
that too. He's
oh yeah,
coming in
Bartlett will
too.
be here for that Bob Nelson bit also. Maybe Eddie will drop in. You never know, people. So get your tickets. The great Eddie Murphy might also show up.
you never know. It could happen.
Yes.
When's that going to happen? When's that going
I
down?
think it's
Do you
July
know?
22nd. I
Yeah.
believe.
Oh, yeah?
End of July. Yeah.
You know what? Give me 2 seconds.
It
I'll
is
leave
July
Oh, it
22nd.
is?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Nice. Well, I'll come up for that.
That'd
I
be
like
great.
Bob. Bob's a great guy.
Sure.
Great guy. Hopefully, do you know how if he's in shape to come himself and watch the show, or is he?
And it
Only
is
if he,
I don't
only if
think
he
so.
wears,
far away.
only if he
too.
wears his helmet. Epi-Epperson.
Yeah,
The balloons and all. Yeah.
I love football. Football is my life.
So funny stuff. Such funny stuff.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So, all right, so I asked Aaron. I think about it before you came in. Do you feel there's any difference between performing on the island as opposed to performing in the city, like the crowds?
Interestingly enough, this is my first time performing at Governor's.
Ever?
Hey.
Come on.
When he came to our show and everything, it was his first time ever at Governor's, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I-
right.
I
That's
don't
right. I
usually
introduced
get
you
out
to
of the
James
city.
that night.
So he'll
I
forever,
forgot about that.
He'll forever equate Governor's with us. Like,
Wow,
oh,
this is
Yeah.
an historic moment right here.
You're
It is for me.
welcome.
Yeah.
It definitely is for me. I'm
great,
really looking
Jeff
forward to
Gurian.
this.
Wow.
I'm just wondering when are we supposed to be there?
yeah, I think
That's
now.
what I was
Oh, all
like.
right. So go ahead. Yeah.
Aaron
We don't want to keep
McGuire.
you.
Thank you
Thank
guys
you.
so
Yes,
much.
You're a lot of
It was
fun,
great
Aaron.
Have a
to
great
meet
set. It was
you.
great to meet you too.
Thank you. It was great to see you all.
You too, Jeff. Glad you're doing
Jeff,
well,
great to
man.
see
you all.
Yeah,
Come back at
Great
some
to
other
see you
time,
doing
huh?
good, my friend.
Thank you,
man.
Aaron.
Kill
Thanks
them
so
out
much.
there. Kill them.
Radio.